the Atlanta Braves look to start the 2026 season on a high note. After last year started out just terribly, going 0-7 on the West Coast, the Braves just needed to start out hot, and I believe they did tonight with a 6-0 win over the Kansas City Royals. Not a slouch of a team either. So the Braves got some early offense from Ozzie Albies hitting a solo shot into the left field stands there. Ozzie, not a great spring, but he had some moments in the World Baseball Classic for Team Netherlands, and so he comes out swinging early. Chris Sale got the start tonight on opening day for Atlanta. He faced Cole Reagans for the Kansas City Royals. And Sale looked to struggle at least early with his command. He had a lot of walks. He had a hit by pitch against Vinny Pasquantino. But every time that it seemed like he was in trouble, he got a ground ball to get out of it, or his fielders bailed him out. And that was a really good outing tonight for Chris Sale. He ends up with 6. We'll just look at the box to make sure we get it right, because we're not in mid-season form yet. Sale gets Sale goes 6 innings, 3 hits, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, no earned runs so far. So Sale off to a beautiful start here in 2026. Like I mentioned, not a ton of swing and miss tonight, and he was kind of all over the place. A lot of 3-ball counts, not nearly as many as Cole Reagans had. He managed to get pretty deep into this game for an opening day start. But Sale, not quite as tidy, not quite as just lights out as normal. But his defense tonight was fantastic. And we'll get into that here in a minute. But Chris Sale, the ageless wonder, it seems. He's now in his 3rd season for Atlanta, and he just is still pitching like a Cy Young caliber pitcher. He's pitching like a top 5 caliber pitcher in the National League, and when he is healthy, he is absolutely one of the best pitchers in the world. What a wonderful trade that Alex Anthopoulos pulled off. 1-for-1, Chris Sale for Vaughn Grissom. And looking back, that trade has aged even more beautifully for the Atlanta Braves. Cannot believe that they managed to get Chris Sale for what is practically nothing. As much as I really like Vaughn Grissom as a person, he just did not develop the way that the Boston Red Sox believed he would. Mentioned earlier, Ozzie hit a solo shot in the 1st inning, and after that, the Braves really never let go of this one. In the 3rd inning, Drake Baldwin just yanks one right down the right field line, puts it in the chop house, barely cleared the wall, but that ball had an exit velocity of, Mach Jesus. That ball was hit, I think, 111 miles per hour. You just didn't know if it would clear the fence. It ended up doing it. That brought the Braves up 2-0. And at this point, Chris Sale had settled in, and the Royals really didn't have much going on offensively. Anytime they got a good hard hit on a ball, there was this just feeling that the Braves were going to be there. The Royals just could not get anything to land. And against Sale, they only had the 3 hits, like I mentioned. One of those hits, Maikel Garcia, on the first at-bat of the game, just puts one right up the middle, and immediately Chris Sale gets Bobby Witt Jr., one of the best players in the world, if not the best player in the world, to ground into a double play right to Morris, to Dubon, who was a wonderful pickup, had a really good game here on opening night for the Braves. And Salvador Perez, I can't remember exactly what inning this was, but he punches one kind of into no man's land between Harris, Ozzie, and Acuna covered so much ground to make the play. Just makes a kind of a sliding grab, and he hangs on to it this time. just fully healthy on both of those knees, and he covered a lot more ground than what StatCast would lead you to believe. And he gets there and makes the grab. And then immediately after, Pasquantino hits one where the shortstop would normally be playing a little bit to the left towards second base, except Austin Riley was there. Dubon was playing more up the gap in a shift, and Riley made a Superman dive to catch that ball and rob Vinny Pasquantino of a hit. So, I mean, that would have been at least 2 runners on, and as it was the end of the inning. And so the defense showed out tonight, and the bats showed up for Atlanta. We already talked about Ozzie Albies and Drake Baldwin hit a home run. Michael Harris hit one to the chop house tonight. Lefty against Cole Reagans. If I remember correctly, Cole Reagans only gave up 1 home run to a lefty last year, or no home runs to a lefty all of last year. He gave up 2 tonight to the Braves. Drake Baldwin and Michael Harris took him deep. And just not a great night for Mr. Cole Reagans. His line, only 4 innings pitched in that time. He gave up 6 hits, 4 earned runs. He walked 4, struck out 5, gave up 3 homers. That's going to leave him with a 9 ERA after start number 1. But this is a Braves program. Who else had a good night defensively? Because it felt like the Braves were basically everywhere when it came to their gloves. Matt Olson had a really nice play at first base. Reminded you why he is statistically the best defensive first baseman of all time. And if you think I'm kind of exaggerating, go look at Baseball Reference. He is insanely good there at first base. He made a play tonight. There goes the hockey stick. I'm not pausing this broadcast or editing it out. You get to see all of it basically live. But he made a play going back, hard hit ball right up the first baseline, makes a diving stop, has to barehand it, kind of bobbles the tag, but then just underhands it to Chris Sale, and you have an out there at first base. Eli White, with the bases loaded, makes a diving grab. That was in the 2nd inning to end the Royals' threat, and then another double play by Dubon to Albies to Olson. That ended the bases loaded threat in the 3rd. So anytime the Royals got any pressure, Chris Sale found a way out of it. And even if he gave up a hard hit ball, it was right at a defender, or at least in range of a defender who could make the play for the Atlanta Braves tonight. And I've been on the other side of that. Or at least not me personally. The Braves have been on the other side of that a lot, where they hit the ball hard and it just goes right at a defender and nothing they could do about it. And something that it just kind of felt like that was how the night was going to go, that the Royals were going to make some hard contact, but they just could not scratch a run across on Chris Sale or on any of the relievers who followed out of the Atlanta bullpen. And of course, those were Dylan Lee made his first start of the year. Just easy up, easy down, no hits, no earned runs, no strikeouts to speak of, but he did his job, got some soft contact. Dylan Lee came up for the 7th. Then the Braves debut of Robert Suarez. He got 2 quick outs, then gave up 2 hits up the middle. And it's like, okay, now are we going to figure this out? The Braves were up 6-0 at this point. It didn't really matter too much, but Suarez settled in, and he gets the strikeout to end his inning. And with it being a game kind of out of control, they sent in Kenley instead of Raisel Iglesias to close this one out. He did 1-2-3 with a strikeout for Kenley. This Braves staff held the shutout for 9 innings tonight. What a wonderful job on the defensive side of the ball for every single Brave involved. Going today, what's next? I don't remember how I formatted this. Player of the game. Player of the game, I think, has to be Chris Sale for the way he pitched tonight. He was the Braves' official player of the game, but like I mentioned, before his stat line comes out. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 walks, but 6 strikeouts, and no earned runs or unearned runs tonight for the veteran left-hander. So I think that's who you got to get to. But I mean, a lot of players made their case to be that guy tonight. Baldwin with the solo shot. Ozzie had 2 hits tonight. Matt Olson had 2 hits tonight in a great play. Austin Riley if Austin Riley's double had been a home run, he probably would have been the player tonight. 3 hits already for Young Thick, continuing a hot spring for Austin Riley. So we'll give them We'll give them Chris Sale and Austin Riley are your players of the game here tonight on opening day for the Atlanta Braves. Got to give credit once again to Austin Riley for that wonderful diving grab where he was basically playing the shortstop position, and 3 hits on the night as well. Moving on to look at tomorrow's matchup. Here at Truist Park, it's once again the Kansas City Royals, and they will be pitching Seth Lugo, the veteran right-hander. That's Sunday. It'll be Michael Wacha tomorrow, 7:15 p.m. start once again on Fox. Kansas City will be throwing Michael Wacha, another veteran right-hander, and they will be seeing Reynaldo Lopez. Lopez only made 1 start last season before he had the shoulder injury, had to get surgery, and it limited him last year to only the 1 start, 5 innings pitched, only 1 strikeout last season. He had a few velocity issues in the last game of the spring. I saw Alex Anthopoulos address that, and in the bullpen session, the velocity came back, he said. And he also mentioned that Reynaldo Lopez never really ramps up his velocity in the spring as much as you would like, and then as soon as game time comes around, the velocity is suddenly there. So we'll see tomorrow. Definitely some concerns for Reynaldo Lopez, but definitely happy to see him back on the mound at Truist Park for the first time in over a year. Looking at Michael Wacha's stats from last year, in 31 starts for the team, he had a 3.86 ERA and 172.2 innings pitched, 126 strikeouts to go with a 1.22 WHIP. So Michael Wacha, definitely a capable veteran right-handed pitcher. And tomorrow will be the Braves' debut of Mike Yastrzemski for sure, making his debut in left. Drake Baldwin behind the dish tomorrow, and we'll see kind of how the lineup shakes out since it's a righty instead of a lefty here tomorrow night. So I think that will just about do it for the Braves recap. If you enjoyed this kind of content, or you just enjoy Braves content in general, or if you're into other sports, like you notice I've got my Georgia gear over here, got some NASCAR diecasts on the wall, and I make a lot of content about NASCAR and Braves baseball, and kind of towards closer to the season you'll see some college football content on here as well. So feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. It really helps out the channel. You have no idea. And I'll see you tomorrow night when hopefully the Braves are able to defeat the Royals once again. But until then, I'm Cayden Sturgis, and this was your Braves Recap.